are back with part 4 of the recording for the organic shamanic house tutorial series. I apologize for the delay. I know the last video has been 2 weeks ago, and I did a private Ableton retreat, and so I didn't have the time, and then I didn't really feel like it, like you cannot force creativity. But now, after visiting a beautiful eco village yesterday and swimming in the river and just taking in the beauty of this country, beautiful Costa Rica, I'm inspired again to make music. So today I could finally do the continuation of the tutorial series. And what I did is I continued, to create the breakdown and also the second part of the arrangement, which I call the B section. So just let's have a listen what we had so far to get back into it, and then I will walk you through the elements that I've added. And then what is still missing is the transition parts. So I will do the transition parts live here in this video. All right, so let's first listen on what we have so far. Yeah, and this is where we ended in the last video. Just need to adjust the mic here. And I already changed something here. As you can see, we had this playing before, right? But then as the kalimba comes in, I choose to play another one. And I made an interesting transition sound. So basically, I copied a part of this one here. And then I duplicated the time here, like multiplied by 2. So it gets double the length. And I reversed it, by just clicking on it and clicking on the clip and pressing reverse. You can reverse the sound. So I took this snippet here, basically, Command E to cut it, and then I just moved it over and reversed it. And this sounds like this, and it's just transitioning into the new version of the melody that I choose then from the template. It just makes the transition into the new melody a little bit more smooth. And I found it was really fitting, with the kalimba to change it up a little because, just also to create more variation and to change the vibe a little. So So let's listen how that sounds together. So then continue. And now here we get into the build down. So dropping a lot of elements here, the percussions and the drum. And then we keep going. Fading out the percussions here. And then again, leading into the break, I just reversed the last part of the kalimba here. Already the bass drum is already missing, the kick. Right, and now we have this transition into the break. And before we listen to the break, just let me tell you that the break is a very special part for me in the arrangement, because usually I like to shift the mood and the vibe within the break. So from the, let's call it A section, everything that's happening before the break. Then we have the break, which is kind of a sacred pause. And it's a space where there's not so much energy, but where you can build energy, but you can also do storytelling, like there's a lot of space that you have to use sounds that you can only use in the break, and can be like really creative, and just creating a transition, from the first part into the second part. And this is what I came up with. I made it 32 bars long, actually. So you see after 32 bars is the drop, because 16 bars felt a bit short. And as you can see, the locators here still following the arrangement structure of the other track, the reference track. So let's have a listen to the break in total. So now I'm fading this pad out, and I'm introducing a new pad here, this flute pad. This one keeps playing. And now we add some ocarina, some shakers here from the ambiences. But already bringing in the percussions to create energy again and tension, so to make sure people don't fall asleep, create anticipation a little bit. And then we drop it and the vibe shifts completely. So let's have a look at this a bit more in detail, right? So we have the ocarina here, which is the main theme, and it is creating like this melody and this emotion. And we're also actually changing the timelines. So we're going from the night, here you see the jungle at night, into the daylight, like the forest. So I like to do that a lot, shifting in between, moods and stuff in the track, so that it gets into a direction that is unexpected and is kind of like a storytelling feature. So listen again as we fade out the night sounds, and then the forest sounds fade in, the day sounds. flute pad takes over, makes it a bit more mystical, and then you hear the birds already. So we're already getting into the day state, and then the ocarinas. And the kitty plus, and then those drums, the Kuroi Puja, I don't keep them because they don't fit with the straight rhythm, but I think it's a nice feature. And then the low ocarina, and at the same time a new pad is fading in, and I think that's such a beautiful transition. And this new pad is an Atmo pad here, right? And it's totally shifting the vibe, very bright. And then we bring in a lot more dynamic with the shakers here. The sub bass is coming in, a new one. Right, so this was sub bass 2, this is sub bass 5. And then, you know, to keep this momentum going and to get with the same vibe, which is now like very driving and very uplifting and quite fast, you know, in terms of how fast the notes are being played. I added this flute Atmo here, which is also like very staccato and very like 16th note style. Right, so it's like really supporting. Now we have a mini break and another transition. So this part stops. And I bring in the tribal chants here. And while the Atmo pad is fading out and the flutes are fading out, I bring in the Sansula. Just to make it like super bright. And then we have the last part, the C section, if you will. Another low pad is coming in just to fill in that space and make it warm and cozy and ground the track again. And then we slowly build it down. Right, and this is still a little bit abrupt, and this is why we're gonna work on the transitions to smooth it out, but this is basically now the foundation of the track. And now let's go through the different sections and make a little bit more elegant and interesting and dynamic transitions between the sections. So like, you know, from the break to the drop, and from the build down to the break and the outro and all that stuff. There's sounds and ways that we can create it a lot more elegant and smooth and seamless. So that's what we're gonna do now. Okay, so let's see what we can do in terms of transitions. In general, I would use the Shamanic Atmos effects rack, right? That's here at the end of the chain, which is basically a a drum rack within Ableton where I included 128 different sounds that are kind of impactful, and at the same time they are kind of shamanic or like very organic. And I added like this effect rack, so it's like sounds like these. You know, and they are perfect for transitions. It's just like a little bit of ear candy, and at the same time it's very organic. It's supporting the vibe that we are already in, the mood that we're already in. And we can just add them, you know, for slight transitions. So that's one option. Another option is anything that basically says effect here, right? So if we go to the flutes, right? So flute effects, so this could be an option as well. You know, stuff like that, just a little phrase. And there's a couple of, oh, I think that's it. Yeah, there's, if you go down, there's a lot of them. So let's see what we will end up using. I guess we will do the main part with the Shamanic Atmos effects rack. But yeah, let's see. So transitions, we have every time when there is no kick playing, that is a transition like you see here. And let's see if we need a transition here already, or like if it could benefit the track. Yeah, definitely. So that's going to be our first transition part, like the moment when we transition into where the kick comes in. So I'm just going to loop this section here. 2 bars should be enough. And let's try one of these jungle sounds here. So I go down. Yeah, one of these. So what I can do now, I go all the way down to channel 72. Here we have the Shamanic Atmos effects rack. And now I can just highlight this area here with the left mouse and then double click, and it will create a MIDI clip there. So let's make it 2 bars long. And then if I extend this a little bit here, we can go down all the way and find the effect sounds that we're looking for. And if we want to pre-listen to them, just activate this headphone symbol here, make it blue. And that means the monitoring is active. And then we can just click on one of those keys here on the piano roll. Yeah, maybe let's try this one. So I draw on a note, I can extend it, or I just hit legato and it will extend it. Here legato, extend it all the way throughout the length of the clip. And I extend this now so I can see where it starts. And I mean, I see the note in relationship to the timeline, so I can move it around if I have to. So let's listen how that sounds. See, that was a bit too early, so I think we have to move it over 1 bar, so from 16 to 17. Yeah, that's one option. Let's check another one. Yeah, maybe that one. I didn't like this sound so much. Maybe let's check this one. Yeah, there we go. That is a bit more impactful. So that's the first transition. And here you see we have another one. So here I feel we could use something more shaker-like, you know, not that impactful, but more like just a little bit more ear candy. So I'm gonna create another MIDI clip. I can also hit Control Shift and M, and this creates a MIDI clip as well. And let's see what we have here. The shell dance is a beautiful one. Keeps going pretty long. So let's try this one. Yeah, that was cool. In this case, I found that it a bit was playing a little bit too long. So what we can do, we can go in here actually, and you can do that with all of the sounds. So I choose the shell dance here, right? And here you see the waveform. And if I go to fade out, right, I can create a fade out. And I can also change the end position. So this means it's not going to play everything. Right, so now the sample ends here and it's going to fade out here. And let's see how that sounds, because I don't want it to overlap in here. Like when it drops, I don't want the sound to be there. Yeah, something like that. And maybe let's increase the echo a little bit more delay. And also let's make it a bit darker. So I'm going to activate the filter actually. I'm going to take out some of the high frequencies. Let's see how that sounds. Wow, that was a bit too dark. Yeah, nice. That is more subtle. I like it. So we have that, and then we have a transition here. Which already has this kind of transition effect that I showed you earlier with the reverse hand pan, but we can still add something on top and make it even more impactful. Exactly, so let's find something nice here. Again, creating a MIDI clip, Shift Command M or Control, and let's see what else we got here. We got some swooshes. That's pretty cool. Let's try this one. And since it's playing so long, my feeling is it has to come earlier. So let's see. We make it 2 bars long and legato. Let's see how that sounds. That was interesting. One more time. You see, we already have this build-up momentum, but we can even add another one because this is a very low pitch. Maybe we can add something nice on top. There's even a drum fill that we could add to the end. That could be interesting. And maybe something higher breath. No. Something like that also. So let's see how all of that together feels and sounds. to listen a little bit far away for the context. Right, something like this. And yeah, you can really be experimental with it. Sometimes you can even add a sound when it drops, actually. So there's another impact. So let's see if we have some impact sound here. So if there's a reverse swoosh, we could just reverse the swoosh and then it's not reverse and then it's an impact sound. Right, so if we take this one and then we go to where it is, like the reverse swoosh was a 3, I think. And go to sample or controls. Is there a way to reverse it? That's the question. I thought so. It probably is, but I don't know right now how to do it. So what we need to do then is we duplicate this. Right, I just put it here for now. And I just duplicate this, Command D. And I get rid of this part up here and this part up here. So here's the transition that we have leading into the drop or into the build. And here's the one that actually wants to drop. So what I can do now is I can just right click here, click on freeze track, and this will transform everything into audio. So I will then have an audio clip that I can then reverse, right? So now when I'm freezing, my voice is gone. See, so now it's frozen and that is indicated by it being blue. So now I can right click again and then I flatten it. And then you see it has created this audio clip. And now we can reverse it and then we have the impact and let's see how that sounds. So I click on it, hit R, it reverses it. Maybe we want to increase the volume a little bit, +6 decibels. And let's see how that feels. You can even like move that over so that you see the transient here is hitting on when the kick is coming in and the whole build is dropping. So let's listen how that sounds. That was interesting, was just a little bit too loud. And I don't want this to be beats, I want this to be complex. And I go maybe, yeah, 0, maybe it's loud enough. Let's check. Something like that. What you actually can check is if it's in tune. It feels a little bit out of tune for me. Let's see. We are actually in E minor. And let's see if we go to the tuner. You go to audio effects, utilities, and then you find the tuner. And it's showing you the notes here. So let's check actually the note of that sound. I solo it. It's not showing it. Yeah, it has not a distinguished note. So in this case, you need to just go by ear. So maybe, no, you can change the pitch here in semitones. Yeah, that felt better. Maybe one semitone more. Oh, I think this was good. Something like that. I just don't want the tail so long. So now what I do, I go here. I'm in the clip now, right? This clip. And I go on automation here and I go to clip and I choose gain. So now I can automate the clip gain. See, like this blue line is the automation line, and automation means changing parameters over time. In this case, the parameter is the gain. So I click here and this creates a little dot, and I click here and this creates another dot, and I can move this dot down by holding the mouse and actually having this fade. Or what I can also do, I can just highlight this section here and then right click and then insert a shape, an automation curve. So like so, right? And this is then fading it out like so, but this is not strong enough to fade. So I need to move this guy over, right? Because I want it to start fading already so that it's fading quicker. And if I'm on that thing here with the mouse, you know, and it's violet, then I can press Alt, or I think it's Option on Mac, and I can even bend this curve, right? So I can even invert it or make it steeper or like a little more like so. I want it to go a little quicker. So let's see how that sounds. Yeah, it's still fading a little bit too long, so I just don't want the tail. So what I can do is I can just take this guy, move it all the way over, and then we have it like so. Yeah, and that's actually nicer that it fades out slower. No, not slower, but earlier. All right, cool. So then we have this guy, and so here we are on the build down, and let's make one before we transition into the break. And here we need something longer because it's quite the gap, right? Energy-wise, like now all is playing still, like the kicks, percussions, and the kick stops. The bass is still going, the drums, and then it goes pretty much into actually pretty cool with the reverse. Maybe that's all it needs. Kind of unexpected also, but the reverse is doing the trick, right? If I would re-reverse it, so like unreverse it, I just click the last section, hit R, and listen to how it's like a lot more boring if it's not reversed. Right, it doesn't have the same effect at all if I reverse it. Yeah, it's actually fine. Doesn't need more. Yeah, that's all good. Maybe just before the drop, let's see. Although I find with this slow ocarina, it's kind of like a transition sound for me. Let's see what could fit here. Yeah, that what you can also do is create anticipation. So you can create a transition sound before the transition actually happens. So let's do that. Let's put it around here, maybe before the drop. And I think it was jungle 8. Let's see how that sounds. Right, so we expect it to drop, but then it's dropping later, which is also pretty cool. All right, then we have a small transition here. So let's create something here. Yeah, something like that will do. Just a little shaker transition. Find a way to make it more elegant here, like the ending. And one idea that comes to mind is we go to our friend Fade to Gray. So we go to Audio Effects, Utilities, Audio Effect Rack, Performance and DJ, Knob 1, Fade to Gray. And we're just gonna automate this fade thing here. So in order to do that, I need to go here to enable the automation. And you see all the red lines, the envelopes. And now, you know, whatever I touched last upon will already be selected. So you can see knob 1, fade to gray, the fade parameter is already active. So we can now actually fade it out and increase a little fade out. So let's see. It's already doing its thing here. See, that's always like really a lot more elegant. You know, and this part can be looped for the DJ to bring in the new track. kind of the DJ friendly outro. Then you need to take the fade down a little bit. And let's see if we can take it like really up to here. Actually, I don't want it to go down. Let's just keep it like so, so it's really stopping here. I can go quicker like so. Yeah, and we can have a last sound. I really like that sometimes, to have a little accent at the end. So let's accent something nice. Maybe another reverse flute sound or something like that. Maybe let's see if we can actually find one here, one of the flute effects. One of these guys here. Bit long. Yeah, maybe something like this. This kind of outro-y, accenty. So, oh, I thought we did create a MIDI clip. We haven't. Again. I know, of course, it's an audio clip now. We need to go to 50. That was confusing. So we just insert it here and see how that sounds. And then it's the end of the track. Yeah, perfect. So now it has a proper outro. Awesome. So, yeah, that's it for the track. To end this video, let's maybe listen completely to the whole track. And if you're zooming out now, thanks for watching. In the next video, we will be looking at how to mix it, right? So now we did the arrangement, we did the transitions, and the last part will be the mixing. So that's going to be part of the next video. But now let's listen to the track. Enjoy, and thanks for watching.